Every single day, twice a day, you perform the same little ritual without thinking. You pick up the bowl, you pour in the food or spoon out the wet stuff, you set it down, and your cat comes trotting over, and you feel like a good owner because the bowl is full and the cat is eating. But what if I told you that in those 30 seconds before the food hits the floor, most owners make 4 or 5 separate mistakes, and one of them is quietly linked to the single most common disease I see in cats today. Here's the uncomfortable part. Your cat will never complain about any of it. They'll eat from a dirty bowl, they'll choke down cold food, they'll live with a feeding routine that fights their instincts at every meal, and they will do it silently, because that's what cats do. So today, I want to slow that ritual way down and look at what should actually happen before you feed your cat. Hi everyone, I'm Leo Bennett, your neighborhood cat guy, and today we're doing a complete masterclass on the 60 seconds before mealtime. 5 things to check or do before that bowl touches the ground, and I'm saving the best for last, because number 5 costs you 2 minutes, costs you 0 money, and it's the one thing your cat has been silently asking you for at every single meal of their life. Hit subscribe and let's start with the thing you're holding in your hand right now. The bowl itself. Let me ask you an honest question, and I want you to actually answer it in your head. When did you last wash your cat's food bowl with soap and hot water? Not a quick rinse, an actual wash. If you had to think about it, you're in the majority, and the majority is wrong on this one. When the NSF, the public health organization that tests household germs, went looking for the dirtiest spots in the average home, pet bowls landed in the top 4, right up there with the kitchen sponge. Every meal leaves behind an invisible film of saliva, fat, and food residue called biofilm, that slightly slimy layer you can feel if you run a finger around the inside of the bowl. That film is a growth surface for bacteria, and your cat puts their face directly into it multiple times a day. And it gets worse if your bowl is plastic, because plastic scratches, and every one of those microscopic scratches becomes a groove that soap can't fully reach. It's one of the reasons vets see feline chin acne, those little black specks and sore bumps on the chin, in cats who eat from old plastic bowls. So here is the correct way, and it's beautifully simple. Wash the food bowl every single day with hot water and dish soap, same as you'd wash your own plate, because that's exactly what it is. If your bowl is plastic and it's scratched up, retire it and replace it with stainless steel or a glazed ceramic dish, which don't hold bacteria the same way. And one caution while we're here, rinse the soap off completely, because a cat's nose will detect detergent residue you can't smell, and some cats will quietly refuse the bowl and leave you wondering why they've gone off their food. Which brings me to the second check, because it's not just how clean the bowl is, it's the shape of it. Watch your cat eat tonight and look for a very specific behavior. Do they paw pieces of food out of the bowl and eat them off the floor? Do they hover, take a bite, back away, come back? Most owners read that as quirky or picky, but there's another explanation worth knowing about. A cat's whiskers are not decoration, they are sense organs, loaded with nerves and wired straight into the brain, sensitive enough to read changes in air current. Now picture pushing that equipment against the steep walls of a deep, narrow bowl at every mouthful. Some behaviorists call the resulting discomfort whisker fatigue, and I'll be honest with you the way I always am, because the science here isn't fully settled. One study found that when cats were given the choice, more of them chose a wide, shallow, whisker-friendly dish over a standard bowl, while another study didn't find clear differences in how they ate. But here's why I still bring it up. The fix is free of risk and takes 10 seconds. Serve the food on a wide, shallow dish or even a flat plate, especially if you're seeing that pawing food onto the floor move. If the behavior improves, you have your answer. And a real caution here, if your cat is hesitating at the bowl and also losing weight, drooling, or dropping food, that's not the bowl. That can be dental pain, and dental pain means a vet visit, not a new dish. Now let's talk about what's actually going in that bowl, because check number 3 is about temperature, and this is where wet food owners lose cats every single day without knowing why. You open the fridge, you take out yesterday's half can, you plop it in the dish, your cat sniffs it once and walks away, and you mutter something about how spoiled they are. Your cat isn't spoiled. Your cat is being asked to eat something their instincts say is wrong. Think about what a cat's dinner was for millions of years. It was prey, and prey is warm, roughly 38 degrees Celsius, around 100 Fahrenheit, body temperature. Researchers at the Waltham Pet Care Science Institute tested this directly with older cats, offering the same wet food fridge cold, at room temperature and warm to about 37 degrees, and the result was a clean sweep. The cats preferred room temperature over cold, and warmed food over everything, and they ate more of it, partly because warming releases the aroma, and smell is the engine that drives a cat's appetite, especially in seniors whose senses are fading. So the correct way, never serve wet food straight from the fridge. Let it sit out to reach room temperature, or warm it gently, a few seconds in the microwave or the container sat in a bowl of warm water. The caution is non-negotiable. Warm means warm to your touch, never hot, and if you microwave, stir it thoroughly, because microwaves create hidden hot spots that can burn a mouth. Check number 4 is the one linked to the disease I mentioned at the start, and it hides inside the most innocent object in your kitchen, the scoop. You fill the cup, maybe a little rounded on top because those eyes are staring at you, and you pour. Here's what a study published in Frontiers in Veterinary Science found when researchers looked at risk factors for feline obesity across thousands of cats. Measuring food with a scoop was significantly associated with overweight cats, while owners who weighed the food on a scale and adjusted it based on their cat's body condition had cats that were more protected. And the cruel twist is that the smaller the portion, the worse the scoop performs, which means cats who eat tiny portions get the biggest errors of all. A scoop that runs 10 or 15% heavy doesn't look like anything in your hand, but repeated at every meal, every day, for years, it becomes the extra weight your vet keeps mentioning, and extra weight in a cat isn't cosmetic, it drives diabetes, arthritis, and more. The correct way, buy a cheap kitchen scale, weigh your cat's daily grams once so you know what the right amount actually looks like, and weigh it going forward. It takes 5 extra seconds. And a quick placement note while the bowl is in your hand, put the water somewhere else. Cats instinctively prefer to drink away from where they eat, and they hate eating or drinking anywhere near the litter box, so the tidy little food-water corner setup that looks so organized to you is quietly suppressing how much your cat drinks. Separate them, and in a multi-cat home, give every cat their own dish in their own spot. And now, the one I promised you, the thing your cat has been begging for at every meal, without making a sound. Before you put that bowl down, play. I mean it literally, and here's why it matters more than everything else in this video combined. A cat's brain is built around a fixed sequence that behaviorists call the prey sequence: stalk, chase, pounce, catch, and then, and only then, eat, groom, sleep. In nature, no cat ever eats without hunting first. The meal is the ending of a story, and when we set food down for free, day after day, we hand our cats the last page of a book they never got to read. The hunt never happens, the energy never discharges, and it leaks out sideways as 3 a.m. zoomies, ankle ambushes, and boredom eating. So here is the correct way, and behaviorists build this into almost every treatment plan they write. Take a wand toy and give your cat 5 to 10 minutes of real hunting right before the meal. Move it like fleeing prey, away from them, never toward them, let it dart, hide, freeze, bolt, and at the end, let them catch it and hold it, because the catch is the point. Then, while they're still glowing with victory, put the food down. Hunt, catch, eat, groom, sleep. You've just let your cat complete the full sequence their brain has been craving since the day they were born, and owners who try this tell me the same things. Calmer evenings, better sleep, less begging, a cat who seems somehow more satisfied by the exact same food. The caution: never play with your bare hands, hands are not prey, and put wand and string toys away in a drawer afterward, because loose string is a genuine swallowing hazard. So let's gather it all up into a new ritual: 60 seconds and 5 checks. Wash the bowl like it's your own plate. Serve on something wide and shallow. Bring wet food up to warm, never fridge cold, never hot. Weigh the food instead of trusting the scoop, and keep water away from the food and the box. And before you set anything down, let them hunt and let them win. One important word before you go, because these habits are for a healthy cat. If your cat's appetite suddenly changes, if they stop eating for more than a day, drop weight, or start vomiting regularly, that is not a bowl problem or a picky cat, that is a medical question, and it deserves a prompt call to your vet, because in cats, not eating is never something to wait out. And if you've been getting some of these wrong for years, please don't feel a single ounce of guilt. You were doing what every bag and every pet aisle taught you to do, and the fact that you just sat through an entire masterclass about the 60 seconds before dinner tells me your cat is in exactly the right hands. So tonight, weigh the food, warm the bowl, and give them a hunt they get to win, and then come back and tell me in the comments which of the 5 changed your cat's mealtime first. I read as many as I can. Hit that like button so this reaches more cat owners, subscribe for the next deep dive, and take good care of them, and take good care of yourself. I'll see you next time.